Welcome to the Raise Up Mindset podcast with your hosts, Charlie and Athena Grimm.
Hi guys, welcome to Raise Up Podcast. We are here today with Athena and myself, and we're here to talk about, our theme is gratitude, grounding, staying humble, and as a leader. So Athena has a lot of humbleness in her. So why don't you start off with this one?
I have a lot of humbleness. Well, we're doing things a little bit different this time. We've been given a list of questions that we were just going to kind of go down, and that was interesting insights, basically. So now that we are 2 weeks into January, there's a lot of talk around 2026 and we're starting over. There's lots of people that have joined gyms again and they have their New Year's resolution. And really what we've been thinking about is how do we continue to reflect on last year and bring that forward into this year to decide what we actually want. And then how do our action steps and our goals formulate around that. And so the first section is, why does gratitude matter? And the question is, when you're looking back at the last year, what are the moments you're genuinely grateful for? We've had a lot going on this last year.
There's a lot going on the last 4 years.
Yeah, but if we just take a little snapshot of what had happened for us in 2025, what's something that stands out for you that you're just grateful for?
Well, I'm grateful for our employees, our business. I mean, we have so much to be grateful. We completed 2 different houses that we finished up on. I mean, there was a lot going on this year. As I said, it's just been crazy, busy. But, I'm happy to be in our new house in Big Lake. I'm happy that we got our other place built. I'm happy with the business, and our employees have been amazing. Very happy that we get to travel a lot this year. I mean, we have a lot to be thankful for. I mean, really good.
Yeah, and, for me, I would say some things that I kind of noted were the learning moments, especially serving our clients. It's easy to think about all the fun stuff and all the exciting things and the travel and the amusement, entertainment. But one of the things that I truly, deeply am grateful for is some of the hard lessons that I got to learn around navigating situations. And one of them that particularly comes to mind is just a challenging client that we really had to come together as a team and make sure that all of us were on the same page so that there wasn't any confusion or lack of clarity projected to them. And so that we weren't getting more chaos brought to us. So I think you kind of know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I mean, I am grateful for other things. That I don't think learning that chaos is I was grateful for. I think it was just it's just one of the things that happens in our life and something we take care of. But we had a lot going on this year, and it was a good year. I mean, it was just so much to be grateful. I mean, our health. I mean, that's number one. I mean, we have so many friends that are sick or not doing so well, and they're young and they're healthy, and they were healthy and they're. So I mean, when I look at gratitude, I look at that. I'm not looking for the negative that turned into a positive. I'm looking at the positives are just positives. So
yeah, and so that's a really interesting difference between the two of us. Is it's I'm looking at this deeper thing that I really anchored into, and I'm a little more intense in that way, where Charlie, he brings the joy and amusement and reminder of actually it's not that complicated. We got to take some trips, and so
yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was good. It was a good year. I'm not one for to answer questions and do sense. I like where we free flow, but just so you guys understand, this is not scripted. But
yeah.
The next question is how gratitude helped you navigate through hard seasons in your business and leadership. I mean, we just kind of talked about that. We had some clients that we had that were a little more difficult, and some other ones that we just chose to work with and not work with us. So I mean, when you're in a situation that you have a difficult client, sometimes it's not the best to be in working with them. If it creates a lot of time in your day and you have to chase things and do things, it's probably maybe not your client. Even though they pay you really well, sometimes it's not worth it. So it's just understanding that and the energy that brings to you and your team, and how that could be just a one that you kind of get stumped on, and everybody has a lot of mixed feelings about it. And I in some ways I think life is much easier without it. Does that make sense?
Oh, I think 100%.
Yeah.
It's almost like I think early on, I just didn't even recognize it as it's creating this resistance within like the whole situation. I just looked at it like, oh, we have to figure this out and kind of like muscle through it. And it was like, now it's like, actually, no, we don't need to be in that mix.
It's almost like a bondage.
Yeah.
It's almost like a bondage.
That's a good way to put it, bondage.
Yeah. So, next one is what are some of the things you didn't appreciate early on, and now that you do, and what are the things you didn't appreciate early on that you see as critical? I think culture in our company. A long time ago, I don't think culture was a big thing for me. I thought people came to work and they did their job and we did it. And I thought we treated people well, we fed people, we did things. We helped with problems and things like that. But I think you really piggybacked the whole culture thing probably 7-8 years ago, when it really wasn't. Culture was just coming into the companies a little bit more, and we were trying to figure it out. And you really wanted to bring it back. And do you remember what year that was? Was it 17, 16?
I think it was like probably like 2013.
13. Okay. At the old shop?
Well, that's a good question. We should probably look that up.
Yeah. So I whenever it was a good move. It was I came from like an old school thought of like, we work, we pay, we do this stuff. Everybody should come here and come to work happy. But you can definitely see the differences when you have a culture involved and you foster around that culture and you give them your perspective of how things should be. And they want to be led. They want to work for somebody that's going to lead them. And they want somebody that's going to be good leaders, not just giving them a paycheck. They want to be in a happy, warm environment. And I think that's been a huge change for us over the years that I did not appreciate early on. I didn't appreciate that. It was. I felt like it was a big kumbaya. Sometimes it was for everybody, and we were cheerleading for people to show up on time to work. But once you gave them some options and really worked with them on different areas that were small, huge to them, but small to us, it made a big difference. So I can tell you that was a huge thing that was different in my mind from that mindset I had before.
I think for me, one of the things that I didn't appreciate early on was spending time with some of our customers and vendors. So one thing that Charlie has always been good about is bringing in the connection points. And so he would attend lunches with customers, lunches with potential customers, lunches with vendors. And I would really think to myself, oh my gosh, like I don't have time to go hang out with these humans. I need to get this done, and I got this list done. And that was back when I was working to figure out how much stuff I could cram in my schedule in that day to get the maximum amount of productivity out of my time at work. And I would say that to myself. I would be like, oh, do I really have to go? Or he would literally have to go, Athena, I need you to be here at this meeting because you need to talk about these points. And so I see that now. I didn't understand it so clearly back then. And then I would say another point that I thought that I didn't know was crucial was creating a support team. I was on the I Can Get This Done program. And now I see how there are these layers of support underneath both of us. I mean, underneath the whole company, but it starts with deciding what resistance you're going to remove even in your own house so that you have peace there before you even come to work, or if you have a home office. And I mean, just thinking of something as simple as having a regular housekeeper. Like that is something that just kind of reduced a little bit of pressure.
Sure.
And so I look at that as like the housekeeper is on the support team. And then you move into the next layer of are the appropriate people supporting you in the areas that maybe you're not strong in. And so if you don't like to do a certain set of things, then your number one support or your assistant or your partner or whatever, they need to be the one that is able to do those things that you don't like to do. Because if you decide to do the things that you don't like to do, you're creating more resistance because you're basically cursing that you don't like to do this and, oh, I hate doing this, or you're procrastinating it up to a complete like deadline, or you're stressing yourself out. So there's like, that was something that I really didn't dial into either.
Yeah, I mean, when you don't like doing something, you put it off, and then when you put it off, you just hate it even more, and so it makes it more difficult. So having the right person in the right seat is definitely the better way of doing it. And I never really looked at the house cleaning as part of our support system, but you're correct in that way. I mean, it's something that we don't hate doing, but it's nice to have somebody go over and do the major cleaning and get it all done, and then we come home, it's nice and clean, and then the kids wreck it in 6 hours. So
we literally do like probably 20 loads of dishes a week between the two of us.
It's crazy. My kids are lazy.
Yes,
Anyways.
and that is something. But
anyways, something that is definitely, as you spend more time in your business and you will see things that are much differently than they were when you started it or a year later. Even we see things differently almost every week. It's just as things come up, you have to be willing to change and work with the new challenges, and it's important. You have to have that open-mindedness. We have spent a lot of time just on these 3 questions. I don't know if we're going to be able to get through all.
no, we
these
won't.
questions.
You can just kick around or decide like
Yeah.
what speaks to you and what doesn't. I mean, the theme is staying humble as a leader, and I think that just imagining what that means for me is, it's like having the ability to step back and go, whoa, I need to think about this. Or for me especially, there are some things that I might start to feel that like fire come up inside me for a moment. And it's like having the ability to take a pause and ask myself, why am I feeling this right now? What has triggered inside me? And not letting the horses like run away. Like before.
We have horses?
Horses, like the wild horses within, yes. So before, it was very easy to kind of get off on a tangent or be frustrated, or why can't you guys just get this? Like, I've sent out the policy, the procedure. And now it's more like this, okay, what do I need to know about this situation? Because I'm clearly not communicating it in a way that it's being received. I mean, I just sent out a read-in sign to the company, one of the departments, just to reaffirm another layer of communicating what the process is. Without being upset or disappointed about it, it's like, clearly we've got to make some shifts. What the first 2 waves of communication didn't hit everybody, and just not taking, it's not personal. They just letting it go,
Okay, we'll go with that one. Do you want me to comment on that, or?
No, whatever
Okay.
you want to do.
No, leadership, I mean, inflate your ego or create pressure. What keeps you grounded? I think our 20 groups are going and getting some vacation time keeps us grounded. You're not stuck here the whole time, and I shouldn't say stuck. I think that you need to have those resets, and I like to have the resets. So what keeps you humble is keep with the fight. I mean, it's working with your employees, working day in and day out, and what practice help keep you grounded. Again, I think that's being part of our 20 groups or our Awaken group or whatever else we do. You kind of go there and you're with other business leaders and people like that, and they kind of, you bounce ideas off them and you do things. So I think that's how I stay grounded, at least. I think that getting out and having these mini breaks and then being around other like-minded people.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think also humility as a leader is coming to a place where sometimes you have to face decisions that you're responsible for, and that's a moment of humility. There's been plenty of times where I have not sugarcoated it with a customer and just said, I'm sorry, we fell short here, and these are the things that we're going to do to correct this so it doesn't happen again. And we move forward from that. Or it's also, I remember one particular time where I was in a company meeting and I sat right in the middle of the room and said, I owe you guys an apology. This should have happened and it didn't, and it's on me, and I'm sorry, and this is what I'm going to do. And so I feel like those are areas where humility as a leader has shown up, or humility has shown up in my leadership, is owning my stuff and not dwelling on it, not going off and bawling myself in a corner, but just facing it and moving on.
Well, I think it shows our employees that, we don't have every answer. There's no way that everybody has every answer. I mean, we have a good broad stroke of it, but the other side of it is that we expect them to tell us when something's wrong or something happens, and as much as they apologize, if we have something that's wrong, we need to own it. I mean, we got to tell them that so they know that we're human too, and we're not expecting something different from them that we wouldn't expect from ourselves. So I think that's a good way to put it also.
I feel like entrepreneurship is, there's no playbook in some cases. Yeah, there's these industry standards that you can outline yourself with, but at the end of the day, we're creating things. And sometimes it's things that we've never done before, or it's things that nobody's done before. And so we have this vision of what the outcome should look like, and then we'll be faced with an unintended outcome. And that's all it is an unintended outcome. You're not failing, you're not a mistake. It's just didn't show up the way we expected, and so we're going to shift. And that just kind of, that whole vibe of, it's not personal. It's just, we can't know everything, like you said.
And sometimes, we think it's not personal, and sometimes it does hit personal in some way, or it definitely does for the employees. I mean, when you have to have a talk with somebody or put them on a PIP program or try to course correct them, they sometimes just don't see that we're trying to do it to help them, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But we try to give that benefit of the doubt for everybody. I mean, everybody, we want to give the highest chance possible to succeed with us and with their jobs. And what we've learned sometimes is just sometimes we have them in the wrong seat. And we just got to put them in a different seat, a different job, a different thing, or a different time they have to come in. Because 9 o'clock in the morning is just not a good time for them. So I think that helps us as a culture in a whole, is just recognizing what maybe some of the problems are, or just asking your employees.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. What would you like to answer? What's the next one? Go ahead.
How does gratitude shape your vision going into this next season?
I was just looking at the same thing.
Oh, see?
I was just going to say leading forward with gratitude. I think we're going to have some new endeavors this year and doing things that we haven't done in some of the different areas we've talked about for quite a long time. But now that we have a little bit of extra resources and things like that, I think that we're looking forward to what this season is going to look like. Just drafting the first year of taking tour buses and picking up people, individual seats, and doing more tours, and we're there and serving our community a little bit more. I mean, we've been so big on the business side of it. We haven't done a lot of the leisure side of it, and we have such a great state here in Alaska to go see things, and we have such experience on going to all these places. It's just a natural fit. So yes. I'm excited about the new endeavors that we're going to get into this season with with it. So I think that's gonna be a good way to shape our company in a different way.
Yeah, I think I'm equally excited about these experiences because for me, it's this vision of connecting our community to what we're doing and this like expanding our aligned partnerships locally. So we're really excited about this, and there'll be more announcements down the road on what 2026 looks like for BAC's offerings. So stay tuned on that.
Yes. What's one thing that you hope your listeners take with them after today's conversation? Guys, Athena, I think you said it earlier, there's no playbook. I mean, there's lots of books that people have written on what their beliefs and how companies should run and how they do it, but it's your individual. What's going to make or break your company is you as a person and your policies and procedures and how you do things. I mean, it's just going to be so many different things, but it has to come within. It has to come within the leaders of the company. And if it's not, I mean, I say this in a funny way, is there's got to be a zookeeper for the zoo. There's got to be a person that's going to be in charge that orchestrates everything, and that's got to be you. And you have to want to do it. You're going to have to want to, because
that's a big piece of it, right there.
You're going to have to want to do it. If you don't want to do it, your team's going to know it. They're going to know that you're not all in. And how can you ask them to be all in if you're not all in? So it's a very balancing act on a lot of days. But if you get a good team, like we were very fortunate to be able to take off some time that we did, and our team did a great job, and we had very little things that happened while we were gone, and that was some of the rewards of us is managing up. Like I said, getting the right amount of managers for how many people we had and the departments and putting them in the right spaces. I mean, that was just it was nice for us. So I hope you as a listener will take away from us is just like, guys, you don't have to do this on your own. If you don't know, ask somebody. If you don't know somebody to ask, join a group. If you don't know of a group to find, ask other people. There's so many different ways you can ask. ChatGPT, you can get on Facebook, Instagram, any of these places, and you're going to find something that's going to be kind of like-minded company that you might be in, that we like to share stuff. As long as it's not going to hurt our company, other business owners want to share things and how they do and how they find financing. And we just had a friend up this weekend that was having problems with their insurance. And he was saying that his insurance is going to double, and we came up with some ideas for him to be able to help reduce down his insurance. But it was not him asking me to solve the problem. He was just mentioning it, and I just told him, I was like, well, have you thought about doing this, or joining this organization? We can join one of those group plans. He's like, no. And so between myself and Athena, we made a few phone calls, and now they're hopefully getting it taken care of this week, and hopefully it won't raise them, but they want to raise insurance 110%. I mean, those are huge numbers.
That's a real situation that's occurring all over.
Guys, as something there, you like shop your insurance, shop your cell phone program, shop your internet, shop all that stuff, because it all those small bits of money start to turn into big bits of money, especially when you're talking over compound over years. I mean, when you're talking years and years and years, I mean, a $50 cell phone bill at 12 years is a lot of money. I mean, you got to look at each one of those ones if you're paying that per line, but there might be a better deal out there. So anyways, just look at it and see what you can do, and just have gratitude. I mean, that's the thing, is like driving in here today and seeing the Santa Claus on the side of the wall. I mean, I would have never thought of putting that up there, but we put a Santa Claus that's climbing the side of the garage, and it gives you a happy feeling when you first walk in here and look at it. At first I thought they were crazy. I was like, what are we doing with this thing? Because they blew it up in the hallway, but
which we'll get those pictures.
Yeah, we'll get some pictures of both those for you guys. But I was like, what were you guys thinking? But it's nice to have it out there, and you can tell somebody's in the Christmas spirit. And Cindy is here,
our decorator.
Yeah, and decorating. And part of our gratitude is spending the money and the time to make this place look homey and make it like you're coming to work, and it has Christmas trees and it's garland, and we'll put stockings up, and we'll make it nice and make it smell nice, and just so when you're leaving home and your Christmas tree's there and your family's there, that you're coming to another place that has family and a Christmas tree. I mean, it's just your work family. So
yeah, I'm particularly proud of Santa because all it is this picture of this big Santa butt hanging out the wall.
Huge, like 20 feet high.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Anyways, that's some of the ways that we want to give gratitude to our employees. We want to make it a nice, fun experience. We just got through Thanksgiving. I think it took like 3 or 4 days to put all that stuff up. Another 2 or 3 days to take it down. Now we're on Christmas. We're putting all this stuff up. And then we get Easter. And Cindy down there has a full-time job just decorating this place back and forth.
Yeah, well, it's not just a banner. Like this year, she's painting the windows. And, you know, this may seem like something that is like, really, you can't think about it because you're just running and gunning right now, but you don't actually have to do that. You could employ someone's grandma to come and
Find
put
some
up a
artsy-fartsy
tree or
person.
whatever,
Yeah.
and just say, look, I'll pay you $200 to put all this stuff up. But it makes a difference because you're creating an environment that feels safe for the team. So
Who doesn't want to be around Christmas trees and lights and fireplaces and all that kind of stuff? I mean, when we go home, I turn all the lights down and dim them and turn the Christmas tree lights on, and we have all the lights around the place, and it looks amazing. I mean, it's nice. So it does put you in a more easier state of mind. I feel like you don't have that stress, or you're not looking at the same things. I think everybody's had great memories at Christmas, so it kind of puts you back in that memory hill.
that's a good point. Is there other things that you could be doing, especially holiday time can be stressful for some people. So there's these like little intentional things that you can do even in your own space that bring people to a place of more peacefulness, even when it's busy, or even like I love one of the things that comes to mind is the hot dog hustle. It was like one of our busier days of this summer, and our general manager, Adam, instead of doing a barbecue where we're grilling and all this because it was just slammed, he ordered hot dogs and chips and drinks, and people literally came in, they grabbed a hot dog and a bag of chips, and they were headed out the door. And
8 hot dogs, some grabbed 5 or 6 hot dogs and they took them.
yeah, well, we bought a lot of hot dogs.
We did.
But the point of it is giving them something hot that they could eat if they decided not to pack their lunch, if they didn't have time to like bring food or stop or whatever, they could just grab something, especially for those that were on a longer shift. And that was super simple. That was Costco. We picked up a box of hot dogs.
Yeah, and so one of the major things that we usually do for our team too is we do barbecue and cook, and have some people out here and they do ribs or chicken or hamburgers, whatever else it is. And that's always a great way to do it on a nice summer day. It's really nice, and if you have good weather and you have the extra team members to do it, and and the management team used to go and do the cooking too, but now we have so many people that like to do it, we pass that over to them, and they're having a good time with it. But again, when you're running and gunning and nobody has the time to sit here and try to prepare those things, having just those box lunches that they can grab hot dogs or hamburgers or chips or whatever else it is, and they can take it to go and they can eat it as they're going, or making sandwiches. I mean, it's just very simple, small things you could do. That doesn't cost you a whole lot, but really opens a lot of gratitude up.
Yes, and I know the team appreciates it. And honestly, if somebody's serving your customer and they're starving, they're not in the best of mood.
No.
So.
We get a lot of people get hangry.
Yeah.
Especially one of our medics. She gets really hangry if she doesn't get her food. She'll purposely pick hospitals that have food that she'll take the patients to. So
That's a good one.
Anyways, we wanted to kind of just give you an idea of what that looks like for us. Again, this is all different for every company. This is all different for your industries that you're into. But in the whole, it's part of the same culture. It's a culture could be at a chemical plant, and the same culture could be at a transportation plant. It just matters what you want to instill in your employees in your company and how much you want to do changeover. I mean, we still have employees that have been here 12, 13 years, now 14 years. And, just very, very thankful to have those guys because they're almost ambassadors for us too. They help the new drivers. They know our culture. They know us. They know what's going to fly. And you can hear, I can hear Romeo right now. It's like, oh, you better not do that. Boss is going to be upset. But I just know because Romeo knows me so well that he'll let somebody know. And he cares about what's going on. So he's vested, and we've been invested in him, and some of the other employees too. We're very, very fortunate to have those people. Yeah,
and I think that's a nice segue into our conclusion of when you're practicing gratitude onto your team and you're being intentional, then that's filtering to them and they're reciprocating that gratitude to you. And it's hard to be rude and upset and in a negative state of mind if you're grateful, So gratitude practice is something that absolutely serves everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's episode. You can find all of our past episodes at raiseupmindset.com, and stay tuned for more interesting topics that we're bringing forward.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.